that was White Zombie, part 1. We'll do part 2 next time. But I wanted to bring you all back here to the video crypt so that we could do another installment of our magic training series, Hex, for trainables. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Now, for a while we've been doing spells that are good for the solo practitioner. But I think that almost everyone who practices magic has a need, they have a yearning to meet with other practitioners, other scholars of the dark arts, and discuss the state of their craft. People just want to come together. They want to meet with other people who are learning just as they are learning. And, well, in short, what they want is they want to go to a magic school. Now, who can blame them? J.K. Rowling has fired the imaginations of today's youth with her whimsical world of Harry S. Potter. And all who you can go to, just imagine you're going to the mystical castle of Hogwarts to learn all about magic from professors Flimagig and Donglewort or whoever is teaching there at Hogwarts. But I do have to, it is my sad duty to inform you that in fact Hogwarts is not real and J.K. Rowling is a neoliberal TERF. So, instead of pining for Hogwarts, let's talk about a different school of magic that's far superior because, number one, it's real, and number two, it's got a far less problematic creator. I am, of course, talking about Scholomance, the infamous school of dark magic that is deaned by the devil himself. Now, if you're interested in learning magic, of course, that should immediately get you interested. It is a very exclusive school. They only take 10 students every semester, and you're immediately probably wondering, like, all right, where is this? Is this out of state? Because, Well, it's not very clear exactly where Scholomance is, because according to certain legends, it's in Wittenberg, Germany, and others says it's in the catacombs underneath Paris, and it is known the devil does maintain a related dark school, or possibly I should say, not so much a dark school as a dark adult learning annex in Peña Blanca, New Mexico, where he also teaches important spellcraft, like how to turn into a dove, an owl, and a dog. But the main campus for Scholomance, most people seem to agree that it's underneath the Carpathian Mountains in a secret cavern somewhere north of the ancestral city of Hermannstadt. Now, what exactly is Scholomance? Well, first of all, students who are accepted into Scholomance journey to the main campus and they go underground. It is in an underground cavern. There are no windows and no doors once you enter Scholomance, and you are there for the full year, never seeing sunlight during that time. Now, there are no torches on the wall while you're learning at Scholomance. The only light comes from the grimoires that the students study from. Apparently they are filled with runes and sigils written in a flaming red light. So that's the only light you get while you're at Scholomance. If you get hungry or thirsty, strange spectral arms extend from the walls of the cavern bearing plates of food and goblets of ale so that the students can partake, and when they're finished, the hands simply withdraw back into the walls, leaving no mark. So, Scholomance is, that's pretty hardcore. Now, you do have a whole semester of study. It's about a year to learn everything that the devil can teach you about magic, which includes controlling the weather, talking to animals, and for one lucky graduate, the top of the class gets to be the weather maker, which means that he gets to ride on a dragon that lives underneath a lake in the middle of the mountains, and, well, riding a dragon is its own reward, I guess. That's pretty cool. Well, You're probably wondering, of course, what is the tuition at a place like this? Well, luckily, for 9 of those 10 students, it's quite reasonable. It's actually free. It's only that 10th that does have to pay a price because the devil does demand the soul of the last departing student every semester as payment. A little steep. Well, luckily there is a way around this, and I'm not talking about scholarships or tuition waivers or anything like that, because the second most famous graduate of Scholomance was the famous Icelandic scholar, priest, and magician Simundur the Learned. Now, Simundur was at Scholomance, as you would expect of a priest, and he was the last person to leave that semester. So, as he is leaving, he's ascending the stairs to return to the world of sunlight, and the devil pops out and demands his due. Now, Simundur points at the wall behind him where the ascending sun has created a looming shadow and says, there's actually someone still back there, so I'm not the last one to leave. And the devil apparently is very bad at counting to 10, so he fell for this ruse and snatched Simundur's shadow away in lieu of payment. Now, Simundur the Learned from that day forward never had a shadow, so that did kind of, that marked him as someone a little apart from the average person, as if, being a priest who graduated from a school of black magic wasn't enough to really set you apart. Now, the devil, didn't really cotton to that once he figured out he'd been tricked, so he decided he was going to make a second effort to get Simundur's soul, and the thing is, Simundur needed to return to Iceland. So, how's he going to do that? He's in the Carpathian Mountains. The devil simply makes a deal with him, says, hey, if you give me your soul for real this time, I will take you all the way back to Iceland. Simundur couldn't pass up this offer, so he took him up on it. Devil turns into a seal. Simundur gets on his back, rides all the way back to Iceland, but just before they make landfall, Simundur takes out his Bible, whacks the devil seal on the nose, thus negating their deal, apparently. So Simundur got away with it entirely. Now, you're probably thinking, like, how is it possible this guy is only the second most famous graduate of Scholomance? Well, that's because the first most famous graduate is someone you've probably heard of, a little guy named Dracula. Yeah, that's right. Bram Stoker mentions it twice in his book that Dracula is actually a graduate of Scholomance, and probably, actually, I think he's the guy who probably magna cum laude as well. Anyway, that's a little talk about Scholomance, an actual school of black magic that you can attend and learn from probably the foremost scholar on that topic. That's all the time we have That's all the time we have this week on Deep Cuts. So please join us next time. We'll be looking at White Zombie Part 2, as well as talking a little more about magic and mystery and all that good stuff. Until then, I'm Bitter Karella, and this right here is The Cool Skeleton, and we'll see you next time on Deep Cuts.
Ghostbusters.